we met once, I think 3 months ago, and a lot of things changed. And what I remember from our last meeting is you recommended to concentrate more on warm outreach, to talk to people who I know. And actually, it works perfectly well. I think that I started working with one larger client of ours who wanted some consultation with e-commerce, and we did a chatbot for him, and then we made another version of chatbot. We started with Relevance AI chatbot, then we went to NA10, and then from there we started showing to other people. So we installed 3 chatbots, and three more clients are in the line. But also we developed CRM with Airtable, collecting all the calls for the company. Like, it has tens of calls, tens of orders per day, and we have a large database which we analyze with AI. And so it's all kind of things that come together as a complete solution, bespoke solution for a client. And so mostly we work with e-commerce, and more and more people come our way, and it's now easy to sell because I show and I get a few video reviews, and everything goes quite nicely. I think that also my revenue increased a lot since our last call. So it also projected to my financial situation. So everything is going better. So I just want to thank you first for your advice. And I think that whatever your lectures and all your posts are very deep, and you talk about some mindset changes and pivots for people who start the entrepreneurs in the AI space. So according to your later maybe months or two, or what you see the tendencies, or what kind of shifts, what kind of mistakes do entrepreneurs make in the community? And what kind of mindset changes should we implement? What do you think can you recommend to me, to other people? Because also I see a lot of things not perfect. For example, a lot of small tasks and going after some cheaper projects, and people go with their own problems. So can you just share what you have, general advice about mindset shift?
Yeah, there are so many stuff to say. I would start with the tricky part with AI is that it seems very easy to build stuff, which encourage people to have a build first mentality. And so first they tend to build, they have some idea, they tend to build stuff, and then they say, okay, now I need to find customers. And that's really not the right way to do it, because it's not because you build it that first it's built right. And it's not because you build it that second somebody is really willing to pay for that. And so that's one of the huge mistakes I've seen. People jumping on a specific solution and say, hey, I will build that because of course people want that, which is not good. So that's one issue. The other issue I've seen is, especially with new founders, people who are starting their business, they are really fearful of doing things wrong and getting no's from prospects or customers. And so to avoid facing no's, they overthink offers. They try to craft the perfect offer. They try to craft the perfect pricing. So they spend lots of time figuring out pricing method or price points or pricing structure so that they don't have to face objections. And so that's really not the way to do it, because you're wasting time, you're overthinking stuff, and you will get no's, because it's impossible to come up with the perfect offer, perfect pricing if you haven't discussed with customers and if you haven't started solving the problem that the customers are willing to pay for. And so, don't do this. And I think the right mindset shift is to understand that, hey, business is just a series of failure that you overcame, helping you to make stuff better. So you should iterate. You should discuss with prospects as fast as possible to understand what they are willing to pay for, willing to spend money, time, effort to solve, why it makes sense for them, and then try to help them on this, specifically this. And of course, at the beginning, you will suck. You will try to solve the problem. It won't be perfect, far from it, but you will do more effort, make your stuff better, give them more results, and then iterate based on that. And each time you're trying to solve problem for somebody, each time you're building something that people told you they want, you are learning stuff. And then you start giving them results. And then you think, hey, how can I give them more results? Or maybe how can I help them get these results with less effort? That's how you make your stuff better. It's iteration. You cannot have all the data to start right from the start. You need to create the data by doing the work, which raises one question. How do I get the first people to trust me? Okay, that's the logical next step. Since I need to have conversation, reveal people, identify what they want me to help them with, and then start helping them with, I'd better have conversation with people. How can I make that happen when I have nothing, just ideas and maybe big claims? that's why I advise to most people to start with warm outreach. Discuss with people you have access to, who trust you already. And then don't push AI, because AI is kind of boring for people who are not working in AI, or frightening sometimes. So don't push AI, but pull information from them. What they are willing to achieve, what do they want you to help them with, and then build on top of that.
Thank you a lot for this breakdown of the problems of mindset mistakes, or like misconceptions of beginners. And so what do you see? So I work in e-commerce, and we work mostly on chatbots, but we see that some people are reluctant because they don't have much traffic to their websites, and they also are kind of skeptical about what chatbot can help people with. And so we created a few functionalities for this, and one of them is to check policies, what is shop about, its story, owners. Then it checks orders, its statuses on the website. We can connect it to the database, also to external CRMs, and also we can check even how the product looks like, if it is possible. The option, it's a very cool option when it is in the database, and how the personalized product looks like in the production. And also some kind of other connections with product recommendations, and ability to update, to notify manager if there is a problem. It's an angry customer or something goes wrong, then the manager gets instantly the notification on Telegram, on Slack, on WhatsApp, so that he can get on call and appease this client. So what so I think that chatbots are quite popular in the niche because chatbots and AI goes together. So what spheres of implementation do you see for chatbots, and what kind of features do you think people may be interested in, according to your experience and talks to the entrepreneurs?
Yeah, so I must admit I'm quite skeptical with chatbots. Why? Because I think it's one of the most commoditized type of solutions. If you go on Shopify, you can buy chatbot for e-com for a few dollars, I guess, per month. So it's really commoditized. And what I don't like also when you position your offer as chatbot is you position your offer from a technical perspective. We are selling technical stuff called chatbot that maybe will bring some results to your business. And so that's, once again, it's really technological driven and not really problem or outcome driven. And so if you think in terms of outcomes, like immediate question about the chatbot, is there any traffic on the website? If there is no traffic on the website, we don't care about the chatbot because nobody will see the chat. Then if you're outcome driven, which is, basically what is the outcome? We want consumer coming on the site to interact with the system so that we can better understand what they're willing to pay. Maybe we can advertise specific site, additional product can buy, and we can collect data so that we can work on them using emails, using promotion, using this kind of stuff. We can have a better profiling of the customer on the CRM. This is what we want to do. And so, so let's suppose I have traffic. Now I need to collect data from them and I want to use a chatbot. So I need to design the web page, put something additional on the website to incentivize them to interact with the chatbot. Why? Because most people are not really fond of interacting with chatbot. Most of us, we had bad experience with chatbot, where we're spending time in old-fashioned chatbot, not even AI chatbot, but it's like predetermined choice. I cannot find the solution to my problem. It sucks. And lots of people have this bad experience with chatbot. And then with AI chatbot, it's a bit the same now. You have conversation with a chatbot, but you don't mind. I had a conversation with the OpenAI chatbot a few days ago, and it was a bit frustrating because at the end of the first, I got an answer which was not the right one. Like the chatbot was bullshitting. And then I explained, yeah, you're bullshitting me because I was doing XYZ and you told me it's impossible. That I was doing it with your system like few days ago. Now it's not working any longer. And so it admitted, yes, actually, yes, you're right, blah, blah, blah. And at the end of the day, couldn't process my info, like what I wanted. And so my take is, if there is one company which should be the king of chatbot, should be OpenAI, right? And it's not bad, it's okay, but it's far from being great. And so, yeah, if you want people to interact with chatbot when there are lots of bad feelings about chatbot, you'd better incentivize them to do this. And in e-coms, you incentivize people by giving them discount, by giving them some candies. And then you need to design the conversation so that it's actually enjoyable. It brings them something they want, and you collect information. And so that's lots of work which goes way beyond just technical chatbot, which is a box with I can write words or speak words, and the stuff can answer me words I understand. That's basic chatbot. It goes way beyond that. And it requires, I feel it requires lots of testings because it's both tech, but also marketing, conversation design. And yeah, it requires lots of effort. And so let's suppose you do this effort to build a solution that actually bring outcome, which is collect the right data and stimulate sales. You don't want to call it a chatbot because it's not any longer a chatbot. It's way more, and it's way more valuable. And so, yeah, I'm a bit skeptical with just chatbot, and I see chatbot maybe as one element of a bigger solution to bring an outcome, which is, hey, we make more sales, we increase the average sales value per customers, and we collect data so that we can sell more to this customer because, I don't know, we have their birth date, so we can send message, promotion, whatever to make them buy our stuff, or we know what they've bought, so we can send emails to show them product that we know they will like or are complementary to what they already bought, etc. And here it's not AI, it's just business, ecom.
Yeah, thank you, Daron. So I think that you have put it very smartly, and we are thinking in a similar direction because we want to incentivize and even to start to trigger the conversation from the chatbot side, so that user comes and the chatbot can speak their language, understand where they're from, where they came to the website, for which search phrase, and which was their pass on the website, and help them to choose the product, asking them for additional questions, even having a joke, maybe having a joke about what they're looking for. You have already watched 4 pages, not maybe I can help you. So the kind of things. And so actually I think that what path I want to go currently, I almost do not have any outreach calls, even warm outreach, because I have a lot of things going on already. So people come to me and we have tens of conversations per day, tens of conversations with different, we have a lot of small projects where we help with all e-commerce, with development, and we implement chatbot, implement AI everywhere because we analyze, we help them with content for the website, for the design. And so we have a lot of small systems and clients, so I don't have even time for, but what I invest time into creating content. I create content. I go to offline events a lot. No, not a lot, but a couple times per month. I'm invited as a speaker for e-commerce events, on business events. Even this month, I first spoke about AI on the business conference. So they invited me and I had 40-minute speech about AI. And so I invest time into YouTube, making interviews like with you and with AI founders. And people like it, and we have some views on YouTube. And also I make daily LinkedIn posts and Instagram posts, which are not so business oriented, but also some business oriented. So I invest a lot of time into inbound marketing. And I think it works because I have a lot of more connections within the community. I have quite close relationships with AI and other members of our community, actually quite close already because of this podcast. So maybe can you give some direction? But my podcasts are quite general. We speak about AI, about solutions that people, like different solutions that people take, and about philosophy of life, but they go out quite lovely. But can you give some recommendations about the content that I could provide that could be not non-technical, interesting, and inviting new customers?
Yeah, inbound marketing or content, like acquiring customers through content, definitely works. Lots of work as well. Like some mindset elements, so there is no one perfect way of getting customers. Really depend on who you're serving, who you're targeting, what kind of edge you have, what kind of skills you have. For instance, you have good experience in e-com. You wrote a book, if I remember correct. So you have already some branding elements you can leverage that put you in a position of some authority. And so, yeah, inbound in your case, it makes sense because you already have some advantages to do this. Of course, do you like it as well? What you like can also decide what kind of acquisition you should go. Warm outreach is the easiest. Paid ads is the fastest when you know how to run ads. Content is really nice because I think it's the one with the most leverage on the long run, but it's far from being obvious to make it work. Now, to answer specifically to your question, how you should direct your question. I think first and foremost in the AI space, specifically, what the space is missing is real case studies. There are lots of content about how you can build stuff. And most of the time, these are stuff at the demo level. These are not full product validating at production level, validated that you can directly put inside an organization. There is no such thing. AI news, technical build, demo of technical build, or how you can build stuff, or how you can use this new like MCP or all these kinds. So really tech driven, really how to build stuff. And so most likely this is not enough. If you want to attract customers who are not builders, who are not people like you who want to build an AI automation agency, who want to build AI solution to sell to people. And so if you want to attract more customers from traditional industries, or you'd better document case studies. So if you do cool stuff for customers, you get them results, you discover things when you get them results, document that and make that your content. And I think that, of course, in your content strategy, you should have different types of content and different formats. But one of the formats should be, hey, I share real stories of real customers getting results with me. Because right away, it will position you as somebody who's serving this industry and providing real results with other people saying you're great. Are you actually doing a great job? And guess what? People who match this profile, match the profile of the people you've helped, the real customers you help, they will be interested in such content. So obviously, you won't make tons of views, but the views you will make are from people most likely interested in what you do, that have higher likelihood to turn into customer or leads. So if you want to attract leads, I really advise to do this kind of content. If you want, so that's one type of content, case studies with like real outcomes in real businesses. And if you do this in the AI space, right away you will stand out, because there are very few people who do this, very few. Another type of content you can create, especially if you have niche down, in your case, e-commerce, you can share some authority thoughts, okay, some analysis you make about the industry. Like, for instance, what I explained about chatbots, that could be one content for you do, which is, hey, most people are saying chatbot to e-com is totally stupid. So here you're contrarian and you're explaining a topic, you're making a deep dive on the topic with a unique view, unique vision, and you can prove what you're saying, and because you have credibility and you've worked in the field. And so this is I just created a content 2 days ago about AI SaaS, where in this content, I'm saying AI SaaS is just bullshit, really contrarian. But then I'm showing proof of what I'm saying. And of course, my point, I develop my point and I end up with a more nuanced conclusion, but still I'm really contrarian. It's a thought authority content. So I think you should do this as well, because doing this, you will grab attention from more people also, because it's contrarian. And still the people who belong to the niche you're targeting will resonate with this and find it interesting, stimulating. It's a bit different from what we've been told. And so, yeah, that's another type of content I really like. I really recommend to do. There is a third type of content, but you shouldn't use it too much, which is more documenting your life as an entrepreneur who is building stuff. So it's more personal, brandish, but it's cool stuff you're doing in your life, in your business life, and you document that. But that should be maybe 10% of your content maximum, because let's face it, people are not really interested in you. This type of content works really well in the make money niche. If you're selling programs so that people can make money without working, yes, like these people, they abuse this type of content. They show themselves with Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and stuff like this. So it works fine. And you can do it in other niches, but like a small portion, not too much.
Yeah, that's sound advice. I will put this in my schedule, all this advice that you gave. And by the way, how long do you work on your content? For example, you want to do research about the case studies, or maybe about just contrarian, you say something that is against the common belief. Then how much time do you invest into preparing one post with research on LinkedIn, for example?
Okay, so this one was a bit different because it wasn't a post, it was a video. And so I started with what I know. And so my method, when I'm doing some deep dive content, it's most likely about something I know. And so I just record a Loom. I open Loom or a camera or whatever, and just like I freestyle about it, all the ideas I have. And then I have specific custom GPT. My specialty, by the way, it's sales, marketing, and so on. I come from the tech industry, biotech, microtech, and then logistics, supply chain. My last business was a SaaS. So that's why I have some ideas about SaaS. My last business was a SaaS, mixing IoT and data mining and data science to give visibility on logistic flow. So that's where I come from. And I was head of sales in this until 2022. And so then after I specialized, I fell in love with AI, of course, because I wanted to use AI in content creation and inbound marketing and sales for years. And when I saw ChatGPT, it just clicked. And so I've never went back from that. And so one of my specialties is crafting custom GPTs, which means in everything I do in my business, I have specialized custom GPTs to help me do this. So small digression, a bit of promotion, but what I want to mean is that I catch my ideas inside with a Loom because it's really frictionless. And then I use custom GPTs to process that, structure this, and come up with a flow that makes sense. I have a content creation framework that I teach inside my community, which is skin, meat, and bones. Skin, it's the packaging, the hook, the thumbnail, etc. Meat, it's really the insights, new ideas, something stimulating, interesting. And bones, that's the structures. And so with the Loom, I give some meat, and with my custom GPT, I create the bones and the packaging. And so for this specific case, I had strong position. I could explain them, and I could explain them with some of my example and some stuff I have, some experience I have. But I felt that I needed to have more neutral proof. And so I did some research. And to do some research, for instance, I did lots of research about how VCs have been investing in more specifically AI size since 2023.
VCs are, since what? VCs is?
Venture capital.
Venture capital.
Yeah. Why? Because the traditional SaaS model, and I think it's still true, is you raise money from the VCs so that you can build MVP, do marketing, go-to-market, first stage of go-to-market to recruit users that can use your MVP that sucks, most likely, and help you make it better. Okay, but you need to put some upfront money for that. And so you found this operation not with the customer's money, because you cannot make them pay that much money for this MVP that sucks, but with VC money. So that's a bit extreme here, but that's the traditional model. And so I wanted to show that a problem with AI SaaS is that VC money is pretty dry on this topic now. And I wanted to back that with proof. So I did some research about it. So in my meet, all the insights, I just select the one I wanted more neutral, tangible proof I could use to make also the content more interesting. And so I did some research. And to do the research, I knew some sources I could research on. And so I did this. And I also use, of course, AI. I use Perplexity and Grok and OpenAI in ChatGPT Deep Research. And yeah, and so I got and then I needed to package this proof, and I use AI to do this. If I remember correct, I use Claude to create some graphics and so on. So I had this research phase. And then after, I had the final step, which was writing the script and integrating the proof element inside the script in my structure. And then finally, I wanted to do a specific format, which is I have a presentation, me in small, and I just speak on the presentation. So I had to create a presentation, and I use Gamma AI to do this, which means my custom GPTs created me the right flow, the right script, the right presentation as well. And I could just put that in Gamma and generate it in minutes. And so all this works, I think, took me one full day to do all that, because I had AI. Without AI, I would have spent way more time for sure. And then I had to record the video. So I took, I don't remember, maybe 1 hour to record it. And then the editing has been very painful. I did the editing myself, and that's been very painful.
How do you edit it? Which CapCut or Premiere Pro or Final Cut?
Actually, no, I'm using some SaaS editing software. And I don't know, for this one, I use Tela. Sometimes I use Vid, but the problem is I feel that they are great, but if the video is a bit long, it's there are some bugs and it's slow and it's frustrating. And so I will try to edit with the DaVinci Resolve on my computer to see if no editing. I will try. I haven't used it. I use the Tela and Vid, but yeah, I was frustrated because I spent some time because it was a bit buggy, some bugs, and it was a bit slow. And so it's frustrating. I don't like to waste time like this. So I will try a software on my computer to see if it can be faster. But yeah, it took me maybe a couple of hours, a bit more to do this.
I myself using the Adobe Creative Suite, and I use it for about 15 years. And I have paid a subscription with Premiere Pro and After Effects, and I adore it. I adore it because I can do everything with it. And even bought a new computer last month to make it modern enough for this video editing. So
is it slow? I mean, do you have any issues? Is it slow, lagging, and this kind of stuff, or is it smooth?
My computer is on Ryzen 7 and has, I think, 32 gigabytes operative RAM memory, and I have SSD 1 terabyte, and I have video card of I think 16 gigabyte video card, and it's perfect. I even asked ChatGPT. I found computer for 1500, and I asked ChatGPT whether it's good configuration for this video, and he said go. He said go for it. So I don't use, and it works perfectly well.
Yeah, but my computer is great as well. It's I really have issues only with in this case, and yeah, I don't. Sometimes it goes fine. So I feel it's also a problem on their side. But hey, whatever. So yeah, it takes video is of course, obviously the most time-consuming content you can create. Of course, depends on the type of video. Like for instance, a podcast like this is easy to edit. It's really fast to edit. But if you're doing videos like the one I did here with presentation, concepts, examples, it takes more time. And I'm doing basic editing. Let's face it. I'm just removing silence, removing bad cuts, removing boring parts. I would spend way more time if I were doing fancy editing. I don't do this.
So I like your idea about its skin, meat and bones about the content, and also I appreciate your explanation of how you split the time over the whole day. So for me, it's I cannot do this for the whole day because I have a lot of things to do every day. But it's a very sound advice that you should invest in your quality video content and the research into doing all kinds of deep research in OpenAI cloud. Okay, but I will not take opportunity of engaging you more. Just maybe my last question is about classifying clients, because even so I sold a lot of things and all of my life, and I'm still selling all different things in the last 30 years. But I think still there are maybe some advice on classifying clients, because some people they see me quite interested, and some of them don't have money afterwards, or they take out your time. Then, so what is your take on classified? What people should work with you? What is your ideal customer?
Yeah, I ask the hard questions, which is, hey, let's suppose I do discovery call the right way, and like you're in the community, so you've seen I did 2 workshops on discovery calls, and it's really heavy on questioning, asking for confirmation, crossing information, making them commit on the next phase, never leaving the meeting without the next step, and making them commit and ideally take action right now. And I ask hard question, which is at the end of the discovery, I will summarize, okay, if I understood the situation correctly, you would like to make ABC for reason XYZ. If you manage to get that, these are the outcomes you will get. That's how you value them, right? Okay, so now when are you ready to start? Okay, so okay. And then another question, okay, so let's suppose you have to invest this amount of money. When would you be able to start? And I do some price anchoring here. Let's suppose you have to invest 25K to get this kind of outcomes. When would you be willing to start? It's double questions here. I'm questioning the amount of money, doing price anchoring, and I'm questioning the timing. And then you can feel what they will answer. Maybe they will object the price. Good, I already have some information. Or maybe they will say, oh, we need to think about it. Oh, objection. Okay, so now I can right away. And let's face it, it's discovery. I haven't really crafted the offer. Okay, so I'm assuming that I'm discussing with a potential customer who has a problem I know I can solve because I did it in the past. Okay, it's a specific situation. That means I have market knowledge and I'm used to sell to this type of people to solve this type of problem. Okay, that's the scenario here. And so they are emitting some objection about the timing or about the price. So I can handle this right away. Okay, so I'm just asking the hard question and trying to make them say the objection they have to probe for if they are serious and if they are qualified. And I've seen that many beginners or new founders, they kind of fear to ask the hard questions because they don't want to lose the customer. They don't want the customer to realize, hey, no, but actually it's not important. I don't want this, because they expect that they will manage to convince the customer along the way and get the deal. But that's stupid. And this is what I used to say when I had a team of salespeople in my previous SaaS. I explained when I was training them, because I was training them, of course, this was part of my job. And I was explaining the qualification step is actually a disqualification step. I don't want you to do everything you can to qualify the guy. I want you to do the disqualification as fast as possible, because we don't have time to waste with people who are not potential customers we cannot help. Okay, so follow the script, ask these questions, and ask follow-up questions to push them to say no. And once they've said no several times, okay, let's move on. Okay, so ask the hard question. Don't expect that you will sell to them without them realizing it. They don't need that. No, don't do this. Ask the hard question. Push them to tell you exactly what they want, why they want it, and when they're willing to get it. And then that's the qualification process. So that's mainly my answer to this question.
Yeah. Thank you, Daron. So as always, as I learned from your workshops and also from my first meeting, that all of your advice are sound and based on your personal experience of tens of years in the fields, in the trenches, how to say. Also in Ukraine, how to be the trenches means other things.
Yeah, I know.
So
yeah.
Unfortunately. So thank you, Darren. Thank you a lot for your time. I hope that we'll meet again someday. And thank you for your agreement that you agreed to make this recording. I'm sure that I will share with my audience on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and people will like it a lot. Thank you, Darren.
Okay, cool. I wish you the best, and yeah, I hope it's helpful for new people.